It's almost the holidays around here. Currently, as I'm filming this right now, it is almost Thanksgiving. We are a week and a half away from Thanksgiving, which means I had to make some emergency space, an emergency room inside my refrigerator and freezer. So today, I decided to share with you the ways that I keep my refrigerator clean and maintained through the year. I wanted to show the real deal Holyfield right here so you could see what I'm working with, so you know this is no no BS. I am truly giving it to you how I live my life and how I maintain. So for those of you who are new here to our community, hi, I am Stephanie, and I teach people how to keep their homes cleaner with less effort. And I also help aspiring cleaning professionals like myself learn the skills to earn great money on a part-time basis. So if you are ready to learn refrigerator maintenance, let's go. So first things first, I do want to apologize for the crappy lighting as I move. I've got some natural sunlight coming in the kitchen, so it's a little hard to restrict that. So we've got a little lighting differential, but I first start by pulling out all of the items that may be expired. So I look literally, don't forget your doors. That's usually the place that I maybe just kind of like miss a little bit in my own life. When I'm working with a client, it's like a completely different thing because it's all not my stuff. So I can look at it and treat it a little bit different. But when it comes to my home, and if you are maintaining your own home refrigerator, what you're going to want to do is look at each bottle of item that you have in your refrigerator and see if it's expired. And actually, as I'm looking at this one, this breaks my heart because I love this sauce so much, but this is expired. So I would go ahead and pull out everything that is expired through my refrigerator. I am not going to bore you with the one by one items, but you're going to want to obviously pull out everything that's expired, and then also look in there and see what maybe you want to use rather quickly and do some like quick meal planning. So for example, let's say I have like, because I have like a whole bunch of cheddar cheese. So recently I made a chicken dip and I've been making like a lot of chicken dips lately because then I can like use up this cheese before it goes bad. I also had a bag of lemons. I went ahead and actually like felt the lemons, and so the ones that are that were like a little getting squishier, I put those to the side because I'm going to go ahead and dehydrate those and make simmer pots with them. So I'm not wasting the product. I'm able to use it before to like get it to last longer so it doesn't expire. So I'm not throwing food in the garbage because I hate that so much. But I am hanging on to these two lemons because they were a little bit firmer. I'm going to keep them in the refrigerator because I'm going to use them with my turkey. Now, in my in my refrigerator here, at the bottom, I have a big giant 24-pound turkey that I am making on Thanksgiving morning. So I'm going to put that in the oven because it's 24 pounds. It's going to take 5 hours. I want it to come out of the oven around 2 to be ready, shortly thereafter. So like you're going to go ahead and pull everything out of there and then wipe just the insides of those shelves. Now, if your freezer is like you've got like some big old chunks of ice, you're gonna need to pull out everything from your freezer and do a deep thaw. So what you can do is once you have all of your food items pulled out of your freezer, you get a towel wet, um, put it in the microwave for like squeeze out the extra moisture, place it in the microwave, get it nice and hot with like 30 to 60 seconds in the microwave. Then you'll just go ahead and lay that wet hot towel in the freezer on the bottom just to start getting the ice off. And then once those chunks come off, you can redo the procedure with that hot wet towel until you get those chunks of ice removed from your freezer. And then just carefully place things back. Now, I don't have that situation today, but what I do have is I am big on like, I'll make like massive batches of soup and then pop them in the freezer. Sometimes use them for myself. Sometimes I'll just give them to my grown children because, it's nice to have like chicken soup in the freezer when you're feeling yucky and you can just pull it out. But, I found a home for my frozen soup. So what I'm gonna need to do is pull these frozen soups out and get them delivered to the places that they need to go. Once I do that, then I will kind of rearrange things. I also had noticed that when I started pulling things out of my freezer, I had all this frozen fruit that I had big hopes and dreams of making fruit smoothies. So I am now pushing myself to drink some fruit smoothies for like a week. So that way I can make some space in my freezer because I haven't quite gone grocery shopping for the holidays yet. I am going tomorrow though. I hate to go on the weekend, so I like to go in the weekday when there's less people there. So that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna look through your fridge and your freezer and essentially decide, what am I gonna make meals with out of this stuff within the next 7 days or whatnot. And like the frequency of how quickly you'll go through a meal. Me living by myself, sometimes like a meal, like a full family size meal, I will kind of break it up between like lunch and dinner and then I get kind of sick of it if I've eaten it lunch and dinner for like 3 days in a row. But in the pre-holiday season where I'm wanting to clean things out, sometimes I just suck it up, buttercup, and eat like that for a little bit. So now remember, when we are cleaning our refrigerators, daily maintenance would be to cleaning our handles, wiping the surfaces down. I have magnets on my refrigerator. I try not to keep it like filled to the brim with magnets because then like every single time you go to wipe it, which you should be wiping it a lot because these surfaces are high touch surfaces, meaning a lot of hands touch them, which means a lot of germs touch them, which means you want to get rid of those germs. So you're going to want to be doing this rather frequently. So I try not to keep a ton of magnets. I have my grandson on there. And then my rubber grippy thing that helps me open pickle jars and things of that nature. And then just a couple of like helpful magnets over here. So like I've got my Wi-Fi password over there for guests. Bottle opener, which is always great and handy to have. I've got my kitchen conversion chart, which is like a cups, pints, quarts, gallons, like so you can like figure out like teaspoons and all that kind of stuff, like conversion. And then just a hook for my apron and I've got like plastic bags in this tube thingy. So I just have those hanging there, and then just like a motivational quote and a couple other little magnets. So that's it. I try to keep it simple. It's still a little cluttered, but it's not so bad. I try to keep it tidy. And then what I do is I always try to not put things on top of my refrigerator. I know a lot of folks use the top of their refrigerator as storage space, but then what happens with that? When you do that, you end up collecting a lot of dust up there. So it's always one of like the dustiest, grossest areas of homes, especially when it's like my first time deep cleaning for a client. I can always guarantee that the top of the refrigerator has not been taken care of very well. So you're gonna definitely want to dust the top of your refrigerator. And for my regular clients, what I love to do is to take a Swiffer broom. I put a microfiber cloth on it, or you can even put one of the disposable dry cloths on it too. And then I just take it over the top of the refrigerator to just keep the dust down. But if it's a first time cleaning, I'm going to need to pull out my footstool so I can see above it, because I am vertically challenged. And I like to really scrub around there and get all the built up dust and the built up stickiness, because if it's in a kitchen where oil is being cooked on the stovetop or whatnot, those little oil particles land and stick and layer, and with the dust and the oil and the dust and the oil and the dust and the oil, and it literally just builds up over time. So the more frequently you have maintenance cleans after your initial deep clean, the easier it is to maintain it. So that's why I like just maintaining it for my regular maintenance clients, because it's so much easier to just do that. Now, on a normal maintenance clean with my clients, what I like to do is do the outside, dusting the top, cleansing, like actual sanitizing the handles with like a disposable sanitizing cloth, something that's actually going to kill germs and bacteria. And then wiping out the inside of the fridge, just that like lower level and just like the exterior areas on just a regular maintenance weekly clean. And essentially, I mean, I'm not like religious about it with myself, but I do try to keep up on it. So if I see a spill, I'll just clean it up. If I see something, I'll just try to kind of maintain it. But coming up to the holidays, like when I pulled out that expired item, you want to really do kind of like a deep dive before you go shopping to load up your refrigerator. So that's why I'm doing this today, so I can get everything cleaned out, ready to go, and bring in all of this great food, because I do the cooking for Thanksgiving. So in this little kitchen, I make it work. And the way for me to make it work is by organization and keeping it together, because otherwise I'm either 100% organized or I'm 100% a crap show. So like there's no in between for me. So my hope is that you find the way for you to keep it all together. And if I can provide any tips for you to help make that easier and help bridge that gap, I want to do that. So I believe in you, and I am here today to support your growth. So please keep staying connected, like, share, comment, and let us know how we can be of greater service to you. So thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays.